What if I told you that a country who claims to defend the rights of its citizens would abandon one of its oldest principles? Its original battle cry would be completely dismissed. No taxation without representation, the basis for its entire independence would be forgotten.
Wow, look, ABC Company is doing fantastic. Look at this other article. Donald Trump hates all human beings.
I read that same article on my iPhone.
You kids and your selfish culture. In my day, we just called it a phone. We didn't put an I in front of it.
Shut up, Dad. I read an article in the Wall Street Journal that says Donald Trump doesn't hate humans.
You kids thinking that the New York Times is biased and wrong.
Maybe you should get your political views from more than one source, Dad.
When I was 16, I wasn't worried about politics. I was only worried about playing football. If it wasn't for that old injury, I would have gone pro.
Was that the only reason?
Okay, maybe it was my lack of skill and ability, but it was mostly the injury.
But in all seriousness, Dad, I deserve the right to vote.
No way. You're not informed enough to vote.
No way, Dad. I read more articles than you do. And if you read as many articles as I have, you would know that ABC Company went out of business.
Hello, America. My name is Pat Kennedy. I was one of the two horrible actors in the video you just saw. And we may have found that much funnier than you did, but our message is very serious. Can you imagine being 16, working a minimum wage job, being taxed, and not having the ability to have your political voice heard? This is a reality faced by 16 and 17-year-olds. 16 and 17-year-olds have their rights oppressed every election year as their money is drained by the federal and state governments, but they are unable to protest silently in the ballot box. I consider it un-American to steal money from someone and not allow them to voice their political opinions. It is, however, American to steal, but oppressing freedom of speech and expression is very un-American. There are two options to fix this problem. Either stop taxing these defenseless teenagers or acknowledge that they are not defenseless kids and are old enough to make decisions that affect our country. If these adolescents are old enough to be taxed as adults, they also should be granted the same rights as adults, and one of those rights is being able to vote. I am unable to end this speech with a dead child, but I'm sure there must have been some 16-year-old political junkie who died before he was able to vote. So I will leave you with that very hypothetical thought.